Welcome back. I'm Frank D'Amelio, founder of Target Intellect, and this is lesson 2 directly from my public speaking training. And the first lesson, if you haven't watched it yet on YouTube or my blog, was how to veil the nerves. 5 things you can do to emulate confidence. These are things that confident people do. If you do them, you'll look confident even if you don't feel it from the inside. Number 1, smile, but don't make it a fake smile. Because if you have a fake smile, the research shows that you look kind of creepy because the top of your face doesn't change and the bottom of your face does change, like this. That's not very warming and welcoming, and it doesn't make you look more confident. So what are some of the ways to make sure that you smile? I always look for a friendly face in the audience, or I think of something funny, or I just relax and enjoy what I'm doing, and that will make you smile. Tip number 2, only the bold will use this technique, and it is this. You got it. It is the power of the pause. Here's a great example. Watch the difference. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming today. Today we're going to be recognizing some of our employees for their commitment to excellence. Not only have they reached their goals, but they've gone above and beyond and helped other people reach their goals as well. I'd like to start with John. Compare that to this. Good morning, everybody. Today we're here to recognize the commitment to excellence of some of our team members. These team members have not only achieved their own goals, but have gone above and beyond to help others achieve their goals. I'd like to start with John. It's amazing what the difference is between the first and the second just by inserting a pause. My fascination with public speaking started way back in college when I would watch students get up in front of the group and I noticed they just looked so awkward. And why was that compared to the teacher, the professor? Why do students always look so awkward and uncomfortable when they're in front of the class? And it's not only the way they use their words and their vocabulary and their pauses, there's some body language associated with it. After studying professors versus the students in front of the class, here is one thing that almost every professor did that made him or her look comfortable and that almost no students would do because they're nervous. Do not use this in a formal presentation. The lean. Leaning shows confidence. Most people will lean on a desk with one hand. They'll lean, maybe put their hand on a chair and lean a little bit on the chair. Leaning shows that you're comfortable in your environment. I can't wait for you to go out and watch other people present and watch how many of the confident speakers do the exact things that I'm talking about. Here's number 4. And this is a big one. This projects authority before you even speak. Or it could project a lack of confidence and nerves. Confident, authoritative people never rush in front of a group. They probably don't rush when they're by themselves either. They're just at an even keel. Usually, when you're called up to speak, you have to walk somewhere. Never walk too quickly. Also, when you have to speak, sometimes you have papers. You have to get your papers in order and get everything situated. Maybe you have to put some things on the podium. I remember going to a Toastmasters and I saw a woman speak and she was phenomenal. But I couldn't believe the first thing she did was she raced up, she grabbed the podium, pulled it over, quickly got her papers and launched right in. And that is definitely not the situation that you want to put yourself into. You want to walk up confidently, slowly. If you need to get some things ready, take your time. Don't look like you're trying to take a long time, but do it at a nice, even pace. And that will make a huge difference. Your movements, your words, people who talk a little bit more slowly project more authority. People who talk a little bit more quickly are considered worker bees, busy bees. They are frazzled. They're not the leaders, they're the workers. If you speak more slowly, more carefully, you're considered more intellectual and you're considered to have more authority. Is it fair? Is it true? Absolutely not. But that's the perception. And what I'm trying to do for you is give you the exterior, the veneer, the facade, so that when you feel your heart beating, they'll never know. There's tip number 4. Here it is, the best tip. This is what I call the above and beyond tip. For those of you who really want to stand head and shoulders above all of the speakers, this is the way to do it. And I can tell you that even some of the best, most of the best speakers that I've seen have not mastered this because it's challenging. However, I'll give you a nifty little trick that if you apply will make it easy for you. Here's the challenge. When most people are nervous and they stand before a big group, they do one of two things. Either, and the most common is, they'll stand straight up and down, and even if it's a 15-minute presentation, they will stand there with their feet cemented to that floor, which makes for a very boring presentation and makes you look nervous to the point of being petrified. The other thing is, a lot of people do understand that movement is a good thing, but their movement tends to be a rocking or a swaying, and it's almost funny because if you hum a song in your head to the beat that they're moving, it looks like they're kind of dancing with themselves as they talk because they're swaying as they talk, they're moving. And then some people elongate that and they begin to sway and pace back and forth across the whole front. And this pacing is very relaxing to the presenter. It is a great way to relax as a presenter, and it's a great way to expend that extra energy that you have from your nerves. Unfortunately, it makes your audience seasick, and it makes you appear very nervous. So what's the solution? The way to use your space but not pace, okay? Use your space but not pace is simple. The way it should be done is if you're giving, let's say, an 8-minute presentation, do 2 minutes right up front, dead center. Of course, you're making eye contact with everybody, but you're planted in the front for 1 or 2 minutes. Then, when you shift to a new point and you're segueing to a new point, move your body to the left, all the way to the left, and address those people particularly, and then share your eye contact, but stay there. You need to stay there while you're making that point. So it could be a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Make your point, and as you're segueing to another component of your presentation, move your body to the other side and stop and stay there. Make your point, address that group, and then finally, the last minute or so, come back to the center. And that's power, that's confidence, that's being bold. The problem with that is walking and stopping, you're multitasking and it makes the presentation more difficult for you. And you end up forgetting, and by forgetting I mean you either end up, you forget to move or you forget to stop once you've moved and you start pacing back and forth again. Here's my trick. In your notes, and especially when you're rehearsing, in your notes, when you get to a point where you want to move, put a big arrow. That will tell you right there, a big bold arrow, and highlight it in your notes. So you know you have to move. But after that arrow, put a big stop sign. Draw it. Draw the icon of a stop sign. That's how powerful you need, how bold you need to make it in your notes for you to really do it in real life. And I've coached many, many people on this, and that's what it takes. So you'll have that just 3 times in your presentation. One move to the left, one move to the right, and one move back, but each one has that stop sign to remind you. If you master that and these other 4 techniques, there's no way that you're not going to look very confident, because only the confident do them.